Hello there. This is Real Bout Fatal Fury 2. This is the version in the PS2 collection. This is the Japanese version of the PS2 collection, so it's called Garou Densetsu. How's that go? Garou Densetsu Battle Archives 2. The name in the US, it did come out on the US PS2. It was called Fatal Fury Battle Archives Volume 2, and this also came out on the PS4. This game individually, just Real Bout Fatal Fury 2, also came out on the PS4 under the ACA Neo Geo line of emulated games. But I'm playing this PS2 version because, well, for one thing, this is a Japanese version, but it has full English support, although you'll notice, like, the skill list, the moves are all still in Japanese. So that doesn't really help me much. But, I mean, I can figure out what well, actually it doesn't, because, like, I'm not sure which one the super moves are, and I would have to figure that out. So I don't like super moves anyway, so I just don't really use the skill list. What else? This theme. So I was just getting my sound levels set, and I managed to stumble into a Blue Mary mirror match here going on in the background. My Blue Mary versus the CPU's Blue Mary. And for one thing, that Blue Mary's alternate color scheme is pretty startling, with the platinum hair and the black jacket and brown pants. The other thing is, well, there's two other things. One is that this is a different version of this stage. This is Duck King's stage, or at least I had thought of it as Duck King's stage. But when it's Duck King's stage, there's people in the streets. They're very lively. There's the storefront on the right-hand side there is all lit up. And there's just it's this very vibrant scene. Whereas here against Blue Mary, the street is deserted, and that storefront is lit up at the beginning when you first get to the stage, but then the lights blow out and it goes dark. Pretty dramatic animation happens there, so that's pretty cool. So characters do seem to share backgrounds in this game. I think maybe 2 characters share each background or something like that. The series has sort of gone through some convolutions in that regard. In Fatal Fury 3, for instance, which I played a couple episodes ago, every character has their own stage, and there's some super spectacular stages, and the stages change each round. They change time of day and all that kind of stuff, or at least through 3 rounds they change time of day. Really impressive stuff. Lots of detail, lots of animation, lots of color. Then in the game after that, which was Real Bout Fatal Fury, in that game you had far less background stuff going on. In fact, you only got 1 background for every 3 fights. So that was kind of a downer. They did make them sort of interactive. You could break walls on the sides of the stages and knock people off for a ring out, but visually there was a lot less variety. And then the game after that I have not recorded an episode of, just because it's not too big on it. I'll talk about that more later, I guess. And that was Real Bout Fatal Fury Special. Naming conventions in this series, well, there was no convention. It got nuts. So, but then after Real Bout Fatal Fury Special comes this game, Real Bout Fatal Fury 2, and which confuses things for me too, because the first games in the series, it went Real Bout 2, and then Real Bout Special. Whereas, no, God. The first games in the series, in the series Fatal Fury, went Fatal Fury 2, and Fatal Fury Special. Not Fatal Fury 2 Special, just Fatal Fury Specials. It's pretty confusing, at least I think. Anyway, but these later Real Bout ones, it goes Real Bout Fatal Fury, Real Bout Fatal Fury Special, and then, Real Bout Fatal Fury 2. So it's like, Okay, guys. And then there was Real Bout 3, or Real Bout 3, Fatal Fury 3 in between all those two. Anyway, it's super confusing how they did the names. And then, of course, the last game is Garou Mark of the Wolves, which totally breaks most of the conventions, except that the name, the series isn't called Fatal Fury in Japanese, it's called Garou Densetsu, so that's where the Garou comes from in Garou Mark of the Wolves. Anyway, so was I going to show you any of this combat? Well, not really. We'll get into some actual fighting and stuff. But this actually simplifies the sway line system even further over where it was when we were last looking at it in Real Bout Fatal Fury, because now there's only one plane to dodge to. You can dodge into the background. You can't dodge into the foreground like you could in Real Bout Fatal Fury. And I think they probably just did that because there wasn't really much point in being able to dodge forward or back. It didn't really matter. In fact, the counterattack button, which is D, there's a dedicated dodging and counterattack button on button D. It's still the same 3 attacks that it's been since Real Bout Fatal Fury. You've got punch, kick, and power attack. And then you've got a D button that handles the sway line stuff. So once it got into those 2 dodge planes with 1 button in Real Bout Fatal Fury, there was no longer really any point to having 2 of them, except that visually it kind of looked cooler, I guess. Maybe. But anyway, so they simplified it now. I'm not sure if that happened here. It probably happened in the previous game, because that's the one where they redo all the character sprites. They reanimated all the characters in Real Bout Fatal Fury Special. And then they're using them. So it's a more cartoony style for the characters. And I'm just totally mashing buttons. I figured out how to do her special. I managed to do it there. But see, I don't know what it does. She flashes, the whole screen flares, and then nothing happens. So there's obviously something more to it that I'm missing. But so they simplified the sway line system even more. So you only dodge into the background now, which is fine. There was really no point in having it dodge both foreground and background, after they'd already basically simplified it down to a 1-button counter move. So this is the intro.
Fatal Fury 2, the newcomers.
So, kind of an incomprehensible intro. I mean, cool stuff happened, maybe? Oh, dang it. Let's see if I can read. Shoot. I did this in the last episode, too. Such a chump. Alright. Oh. That's what we want. Alright, I just wanted to show the option screen. It's different now. There aren't little chibi characters spinning around in the background anymore, which I miss. I'm playing this on easy like I was playing the games in the previous 2 episodes. I think I looked this up once. I think the default is on. And I was really excited at first because I was like, wait, does this let you turn off the sway line system completely? But no, it doesn't. I think what it lets you do is in certain backgrounds, there are certain stages apparently where you may have no sway line system, and I think it only happens in versus play against another player. Some backgrounds you can choose not to have any sway line, and I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what backgrounds those are and why. Maybe they look particularly narrow or something. I don't know, but it doesn't actually apply to anything I'm doing in single player as far as I know. They've also, the last game in the series I played was Real Bout Fatal Fury, and that had English, Spanish, Portuguese, and Japanese. And remember, this is the Japanese collection, the collection that came out in Japan for PS2. But this game, Real Bout Fatal Fury 2, only has English and Japanese, so it's kind of interesting they don't have Spanish or Portuguese anymore. Fatal Fury 3, which was before the game that had Spanish and Portuguese, did not have Portuguese, but it did have Spanish, so I don't know, they really kind of regressed way back there. I don't know, maybe these games just weren't popular in Spanish and Portuguese countries? I don't know. Okay. Now, there's that new character you saw in the intro. So it's the same 3-button system, punch, kick, power, attack. And then the D button, so it only goes to the background, no more foreground. And that's kind of it. You can't, I don't think there's any more like kicking people into the foreground or background either. So this Rick Strowd character is kind of their new big boy that they're pimping out in the intro. But you never really hear from Rick again in SNK stuff as far as I can recall off the top of my head. Xiangfei is also new to the, well, maybe she was in the previous game. I don't know. I haven't gone back and played Real Bout Fatal Fury Special because it's just, it's where they had redrawn all the characters for this more cartoony style, but it didn't look fully fleshed out to me. The backgrounds in particular were kind of flat and lacking in detail. So that kind of turned me off to the whole thing, and I just felt like that game was maybe a little stuck in between. It needed a little more time to develop the new art style and stuff, and probably the new fighting style. So anyway, I'm not going to play that game. It's not too great for me, but I do kind of like this game, so I'm playing this game. Chang, I think, was in one of the earliest games. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong. But he hasn't been around for a while anyway. Krauser is an old boss, so that's kind of cool that you can just pick him. Tung was in some of the earliest games. I know that for sure. Laurence was an old boss. Franco Bash looks way different. They made him so puffed out and just cartoony looking in this. I really don't like what they did with his look. But what can you do? So let's just go through the new characters. Why not? The ones that at least weren't in the previous episodes, the games I was playing in the previous episodes. I can't pronounce her name correctly, but anyway, she's kind of fun. She showed up in a couple of King of Fighters games subsequently as well. Let's do Bob.
Get in the ring.
I seem to recall liking how they redrew Bob. I think he came off pretty well. Actually, he looks a lot like his older version from Fatal Fury 3. He's got kind of a more realistic look. This is, again, the... I'm not sure if I got to that when I was talking about Blue Mary on that Blue Mary mirror match. That was playing Blue Mary's theme song. Blue Mary's Blues or something like that is what it's called. It's a pretty cool theme song. There's even a version with lyrics in one of the Neo Geo CD games. And you can hear it in a special... Oh, wow. In a special mode in one of the, I think, PS1 Fatal Fury games. Maybe that's in the, what's the one? The Wild no, not Wild Ambition. The 2D one. I can't. I'm not going to be playing that one because it's really just a sort of adapted version of one of the regular Fatal Fury games, and not really into it. But so Xiangfei's pretty fun to play. She's got these kind of spinning, fluid moves, and I'm saying her name wrong again. Wow, and she's got swords. I like this stage too. It's just, again, a very memorable setting. Not the most colorful, perhaps, and maybe the perspective is a little odd, but it's not bad, really. But again, just very memorable visual setup here. Not that it's spectacular or mind-blowing, but just you know, it's a real, I don't know. It feels like it could be a place, and kind of a different place than you're usually in, probably. Yeah. So at first, when I came to this game from Real Bout Fatal Fury, which was still using the sort of grittier... I'm doing that wrong. I should be hitting the D button to counterattack when Terry steps into the background. I might be scoring some hits instead of having to run, dodge. See, I did it wrong again. And that time he got me. There, I got it. Oh, I still got him. But see, for instance, Terry shares this stage with Rick Strowd. Welcome to... where does that say?
In the ring.
And Mai shares this stage with the giant cherry blossom tree, or whatever it is. I think she shares this with Andy. So I wonder if that means I'm not going to have to fight Andy, or Rick for that matter. I'm not sure who Yamazaki shares his stage with, though. And like Mary and Duck, I guess, share a stage. So there's, I mean, in a way, there's a lot of stuff that I can say is kind of a come down from, for instance, Fatal Fury 3, which I have apparently decided is my favorite game in the series now. And I was really blown away by it, but when I played it a couple episodes ago. But I do find this one pretty fun to play, and it definitely feels it. It kind of owns its different attack button scheme better than Real Bout Fatal Fury did. Real Bout Fatal Fury adopted the sprites from Fatal Fury 3, which were made for the 4-button, you know, light punch, heavy punch, light kick, heavy kick scheme. So maybe there wasn't always a perfect fit there for Real Bout Fatal Fury, but this game definitely developed it with the 3 attack button scheme in mind. Oh, okay, so Chang shares this stage with Yamazaki. Chang has a brighter color scheme. When you fight Yamazaki here, it's all blue and purple, very kind of dark feeling. But here with Chang, it's more lit up. There's more scarlets, reddish tones, reddish purples. I don't like Chang as a character. I don't usually like... I mean, he's drawn like this goofy puffball thing, and it's never something I'm into, really. It's just like, so he just expands his body? Okay. And maybe it's because I always felt like I was slightly overweight as a kid or something, and I don't like seeing sort of corpulence made into a joke or some kind of superpower or something, you know? It's not really funny. But now that I eat healthy, I don't have that problem anymore, so maybe I shouldn't be sensitive to it anymore, but I guess I still am. Scarred for life. And actually, it's more than eating healthy. It's also I exercise regularly, which is not something I really had a notion of as a kid. I mean, I did sports and stuff, but just like kids do. But it didn't really occur to me that, hey, if you go and you just do some regular cardio exercise every day, you'll be in better shape. That never really occurred to me. Even though, for instance, my mom jogged. My mom jogged every morning. But it didn't really occur to me that this was something, exercise was something that could have helped me with my feeling I was a little heavier than I wanted to be, you know? But oh well. Whoop. I do like that wind pose. There is still no like story or dialogue between characters. In Fatal Fury 3, for instance, there was a lot of dialogue between characters as you played through the game. But then in Real Bout Fatal Fury, there pretty much was nothing. And this is even less. At least Real Bout Fatal Fury had a few short little cutscenes showing like the boss as you went through. This has had nothing so far. Now I have to fight stupid Billy. I do like this stage. This is another pretty memorable stage. Just the design is pretty neat. Oh wow. Come on, get Billy. Yeah. Now, Xiangfei is fun to play, or Xiangfei? I always forget how to pronounce the X. Oh, shoot. Oh, that hurt a lot. Oh, no. Oh, no, now I can't. See, I still have this problem. As I play through and fights get more intense, I just forget about the D button, being able to counter when they go to the back line. Oh, man, I got torched. Billy. Jeez. Oh, he's just decided to bust me. Oh, there I go. Well. Is that just how all my runs here are going to end? Just getting torched by Billy? Probably, if I even get that far. I hate Billy. I hate Billy so much. That's another reason why I really like Fatal Fury 3. Doesn't have Billy, doesn't have any of these joke characters, doesn't have wizard kids. It was before they turned Hon-Fu into a joke character. All the characters in Fatal Fury 2 are rad. Or Fatal Fury 3, sorry. Okay. Alright, so why don't we check out poster boy Rick Strowd here. Now, Sokaku was really tough to fight in Real Bout Fatal Fury. I basically couldn't beat him no matter what match I fought him in, even in the first match. Oh, so Sokaku also shares this stage with the tree, except in his version, the tree is dead, and the whole stage is just gross. So that's not too cool. So, okay, so maybe 3 characters share a stage, which is pretty much how Real Bout Fatal Fury went. Okay, that's a different kind of move. It's funny, all of a sudden the characters feel smaller. Maybe it's just because I was thinking of Xiangfei as a small person, and so her sprite, which was about this same size, didn't feel small to me because I was thinking, oh, she's just a short person. But Rick I thought was a tall person, but here he's not. Well, they changed that attack so now it can attack a standing character and you block it standing. What is that? It's interesting because they really pushed Rick so hard for this game, and he's got some pretty cool moves. I think this is another reason why I like this game. It's just because Rick is a genuinely fun character to play, and you don't see him anywhere else. Maybe they just felt he was too... I mean, he's kind of a boxer character, which they kind of have some of. Wow. But they don't really have anybody like Rick. Maybe there was something weird about his background that they decided was kind of not great. I don't know. Or, I suppose what... Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Well, the thing is, though, this was the last game before the series kind of disappeared and then came back totally retooled in Garou Mark of the Wolves. And is it only Terry that survived? Only Terry that's in the Fatal Fury games and the earlier Fatal Fury games like this one and Garou? Oh, wow. Nobody else that I can think of right now came back. I think Blue Mary shows up in one of the cutscenes. Maybe not. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong, actually. I might be thinking of a different game. But yeah, Rick is super fun to play, so that's... I think Rick is actually largely one of the reasons why I didn't decide I could just shelve this game. Because Rick is genuinely fun to play.
Round 1. Fight.
Oh, so Tung is also in this game, which Kim was in. But this is a really different... Remember when Kim was here, it was bright daylight, and there were just a ton of people packing the background, cheering. I like this Tung version. Oh, there's somebody back there, I think. What is that right there? Is that a person tied up? Yeah, Tung does this weird thing where he expands, grows into this super buff dude, and then will like spin around and levitate. But he's been doing that since some of the earliest games in the series. Oh, this music got pretty rad. Where have you been, Tung? We missed you. Crazy dude. Crazy Mighty Morphin dude. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about the power attack button. Oh. Oh no! Oh no! Jeez. Oh, come on, D button. There we go. Oh. Tung is in Neo Geo Battle Coliseum. Pretty fun in that game. I mean, maybe they also felt that Rick was kind of too similar to Terry. I mean, I think Terry howls once in a while. He's always talking about wolves and all this stuff. Oh, so the lights didn't blow out. The lights of the storefront here have not blown out. Oh, there they go. So I had to come over here. That's interesting because when in my Blue Mary mirror match, they blew out at the beginning, and I could have sworn there was a sound of them blowing out. Mary is still kicking my buns, though. Yeah, it feels so good. It kind of takes me back to, in Fatal Fury 3, I think just about every character could do a sort of boxing punch flurry by alternating at the right interval between light and heavy punches. You could get this really cool flurry of punch attacks out. And they kind of restricted that sort of slap-happy attack style after Fatal Fury 3, which is a shame as far as I was concerned, because I like mashing buttons. But Rick has you can definitely get away with some mashing with Rick. At least I have been so far. Then again, this is on easy, so don't take that with a big grain of salt, basically. Yeah! This is the Blue Mary's Blues theme. Oh shoot, she taunted the heck out of me. Suckered me. Where you going, Mary? Oh. Shoot. There's a lot of cats on this stage. Whoop. Yeah. Oh no. Ah, no. Oh.
Continue. 9, 7.
Well, at least I didn't lose to Billy. I guess I'd rather be crushed by Blue Mary's thighs than burnt to a crisp by Billy's stupid spinning flaming stick. Frickin' Billy. Let's see. Well, Chang is a returning character after an absence. I guess I should look at him. Nah, heck with that. I ain't doing it. I don't like Chang's design. Just not something I'm into. Wonder if Hon-Fu is still a joke character. But let's check out Krauser. Haven't seen him as a playable character in a while in the series. Who haven't I fought yet? Did I fight Ma yet? I feel like I probably did, but I don't remember. I don't know if anyway, I can't remember anything. That's a weird portrait of Duck. Like his face is a little twisted. So yeah, this is Duck's version of the stage. So it's got all these people standing around. And actually, I think that "Where's the D" graffiti over here, that's not here in the Mary version, is it? You still have the RB2 now on sale in Rob Grocer's window, which is cool. Oh yeah, and the cats are gone, so it's not cats anymore, it's just dudes standing around in hoodies and stuff. I totally forget what Krauser's deal is. This is just big. His face looks really weird in this, though. Am I just looking at his face wrong? No, they drew his face really weird. I'm not a big fan of how they drew him, actually. I wonder if they kind of gave him to one of the younger artists or something. He doesn't look right. Whoa. Krauser looks kind of crude. I think he was the boss in the previous game, if I am remembering right. What? It's kind of counter move. Oh, so bad. Whoops. Well, accidentally, I think I executed some kind of super. That was kind of neat.
Get in the ring.
Yeah, get in the ring. Okay, now we'll see if Hon-Fu is still a joke character. I bet he is. Oh, this is one of the stages. Why am I thinking that? I think this is one of the stages where you don't have a sway line. Let me try. Yeah, you can't dodge to the background in this stage. So that's cool. This stage appears in the PS2 collected version of King of Fighters 2000. In practice mode and in versus mode in King of Fighters 2000, if you pick Xiangfei as a striker, she appears as a striker in KOF 2000. If you set her as player 2's striker in KOF 2000 in the NES collection on PS2, which only came out in Japan, I think, then this will be your background. They took this stage. They took a lot of different stages, and you can get secret stages in practice or versus play in that version of KF 2000 by picking certain characters as player 2's striker. So if you pick Xiangfei as player 2's striker in that version in the NES collection on PS2, you get this stage. And I think maybe one reason they chose that stage is because it doesn't have the wide background for the two lines to fit in. So there's no line switching in this stage. I'm hitting the D button and no dodging to the background happens. So that's awesome. I wish I could have this stage appear more, but whoa, it is Hon-Fu's stage. And he must share it with some other people, obviously. Uh-oh. I was trying to do a super, which was a mistake. Oh, nice dodging. See, I don't like the super system. What the heck? That was weird. I don't like the super system in these later games. In Fatal Fury 3, I know I'm always nattering on about Fatal Fury 3, you did have one super per character. I think just one for most characters. Now this is a pretty cool looking stage too. Another memorable design. But it's sort of it comes down for me because you have to fight these wizard kids on it. I think. I don't know if there's anybody else who they share it with. Who are fighting the wizard kids. Such a cool looking stage though. And you know, for all of Krauser's goofy look, he does play pretty well, especially for a big guy. You know, a lot of times a big guy will feel clumsy and slow, but I think they got it right with Krauser. There is some other game. Oh, well, like KOF 98 Ultimate Match, I think has Krauser in it. And he feels very clumsy and slow. But he doesn't feel like that here. He feels like he's moving at about the right speed for a big dude. He doesn't feel like his size is holding him back. It just feels about right. Hey, you want some more of that, kid? Whoops, whoops. Douche.
Get in the ring.
Yeah, like Real Bout Fatal Fury, this is a very playable game. I might not find it quite as artistically inspired in all respects as Fatal Fury 3, but it is very playable, very compulsively playable. It doesn't have quite the same impact, physical feel impact to the hits. but it's still lots of fun. And the cartoony style does give them more, like, things are bigger. Like, things happen bigger, effects are bigger, characters are bigger. Franco is huge. I think he's pretty ridiculous looking, actually. Ugh. I kind of lost it there. And why Franco is in India, I couldn't tell you. I think this is India, or maybe it's Malaysia or something. I guess I was just looking at that alphabet back there. I do like the bash signs in the audience, though. That's cool. Okay, he's still getting me pretty good. Oh, man. Jeez, what is... Ah! Oh, dang it. I knew that was a mistake to throw a fireball that close. Wow, I got... I don't know if I got lucky there, but that was close. Dang it. Use the D button, you chump. Dang it, I don't know what to do about that. Oh, that's not fireball. That's fireball. That's a really cool sound effect. Oh. Where are the people holding the KRAUSER signs in the audience? Come on, Krauser fans. So yeah, Laurence, I think is he like the sub-boss in the previous game, and Krauser was the big boss or something? Oh shoot! Well, that cape really did a number on me. Laurence is a matador, a bullfighter. Maybe it was in this game that he used the boss. I can't remember. I think it was the previous game, though. Oh. Well, but that means I have no idea who the boss here is, so it could very well be Laurence and Krauser. It's going badly. Shoot! He's too evasive. Starting to think that was unblockable. Oh man, it's Kate. Ooh. This music's pretty great. Dang it. I made the mistake of trying to spam supers because I had the S thing going, and I think that means something, but I'm dumb. Dang it. Wow, just abuse that sway line, you jerk. Of course, if I had any D button going on here, I would have been working him over. But I don't. Oh, throw your fireball, chump. Yeah, looks like my fireball's got a little more range than your pointy cape. Sucker! Don't see no bulls doing that. I don't think. That was some fire, baby. Oh, come on. Come on. He's just going to eat me alive if I can't get this D button down. Why can't we fight in Hon-Fu's stage? No, just hit the D button. Don't jump away. Oh, D button. Oh, hot. I thought I had it that time. Stop dodging into the background, Terry. There, I got him. That'll learn you. He's just gonna do it until I... No, he's just gonna do it anyway. I don't know why the designers thought the Spheline thing was so cool. It's not. Oh no! Well, Terry knows how to use his super. I don't even know how to use the D button, and that's how I lose. I never really noticed there's a billboard for tuna back there. I don't know why that's funny, but it is. Yeah, what this fight needs is more fireballs in Terry's face. Oh, nice jump. What the? He just punches through it? Ah, D button, no. No. I hit it, but I was stuck. Oh, damn. Yeah. He's just waiting. Yeah, that was bad. I just couldn't do anything well enough.
Continue. 9, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Bong. A well-deserved loss at the hands of Bogard. Terry Bogard specifically. Those are some pecs, man. I don't know how they stay that taut and perky when he's knocked out at least, but anyway, let's not think any more about Krauser's pecs, or maybe we should. Maybe the world should think more about Krauser's pecs. This portrait of Joe is terrible. Okay, so let's try some tongue. Did I fight? Oh yeah, I did. I just did.
Go. Get in the ring.
Kaboom!
Round 1. Fight.
Oh yeah, so Joe is also in this stage. Very different look now in his version of it. And of course, it's not people holding Bash signs; they're holding Joe signs. So, because I don't really know how to do supers, I probably won't be growing into the giant buffed out Tung Fu Rue. Well, I guess we'll see what mashing buttons gets me. Oh, so that's just a regular, normal special move, I guess. That wasn't a super. So here I am on S power. I don't think that's a special super though. I still have totally lost the D button. This music's pretty fun. Oh, shoot. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was the D button. How did it miss? Yeah, Tongue's just a fun character. Really glad they brought him back.
Get in the ring. Round 1. Fight.
Oh no. Oh wow, so very different color palette in Rick's version. Cool sunset. It's not quite as good as having his own stage, I guess, but you know, they only had so many resources, I guess, and it's kind of cool looking anyway. I mean, that is one thing that fighting games, so that was an accidental super. That is one thing that fighting games tend to lose as they add more characters, is unique stages per character. So, Fatal Fury 3 actually had less characters than the previous game in the series, which was Real Bout which was Fatal Fury Special. Because Fatal Fury Special kind of took Fatal Fury 2 and just added more characters. So Fatal Fury Special had a bunch of characters, and then they totally redid the graphics, the characters, and stuff for Fatal Fury 3, so they had to start over from scratch as far as the pixel art went. And so they did not get as many characters in Fatal Fury 3. So they had to do them all from scratch. And why was I talking about that? I'm so scatterbrained. Well, I was talking about backgrounds and why. Well, so yeah, so in Fatal Fury 3 they didn't have as many characters, so they could get away with doing a background for each character, but they put so much detail into those backgrounds, it's ridiculous. Just these long animated sequences and so many animations and colors. Really impressive backgrounds. If you haven't seen the backgrounds in Fatal Fury 3, do yourself a favor. They're some of the best backgrounds in fighting games. Oh, a background hit for the KO. My, that must be embarrassing. This is kind of cool. This is just my theme. That's a half circle forward. Let's see. Oh wow! I didn't know Tung had to move like that. Hey, just gonna hoot at me from over in the corner. Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Well, great. Now I'm losing. Oh no! Oh shoot! Oh no! I thought I was doing a little worse than I was. Phew.
Get in the ring. Round 1. Fight.
Yeah, this is the Yamazaki version of this background. So actually it's kind of an aqua color they brought in to replace the warm scarlet of Cheng's version of this stage. Very sort of dark and clammy almost feeling. Yeah, busted. Yeah, this game plays pretty well. I would even say plays better than Real Bout Fatal Fury, and again, that's probably because they built the character sprites from the ground up with this 3-button attack style in mind. Donk.
Get in the ring. Round 1.
I don't think it plays quite as well as Real Bout Fatal Fury or Fatal Fury 3, but here's where I get rumpled by Billy. Rumbled is probably the word I was looking for, but rumpled is good. Oh, shoot! How did he? There. Oh no. Oh, Ragaboom. He's all over the place with that stupid stick. He's going to set me on fire in a second. No, he didn't even need to. Yeah, I just remember so many fights against Billy. I can't get past the stupid staff. Start spinning it in a circle and lighting me on fire. Or extending it all the way across the screen. Or just going, oh, so the dodges to the background are once again torching me. Oh, thank goodness. Alright, well, if I could beat him, I would be happy, but I'm not counting on it. Ah. Shoot, get out of there. Oh, man. He's too good at timing his dodges into the background. Oh, gosh. Lit me up good. At least you didn't set me on fire. Thanks, Billy. Thanks for not setting me on fire. Oh, Billy. He's just so loud and obnoxious. At least he doesn't have his own rock and roll stage like he does in the previous game, if I'm remembering that right. It's really frustrating to fight in the previous game. He's got his whole rock and roll stage. It's all right, who else is new-ish? Well, Laurence, obviously. I don't know. Well, let's fight Xiangfei. Have I fought her? Has she come up? Normally, I think she shares Hon-Fu's stage. So yeah, actually, I should pick her or Hon-Fu all the time because then I get to play in this. Whoa, wow! In this stage without the sway line system. I gotta remember that. I always start with her or Hon-Fu. I wonder if there's a third character. I love that. Look at that little pig on the hood of the truck. That is so cute. Little piggy, you just made my day. Look at the little pig racing around in the background, running away from that guy. Come back, little piggy. You were the cuter one. Even cuter. Ever cuter piglets. There he comes. Oh no, oh, that's awesome. Is that a little pig bouncing around in the tomatoes? Oh my gosh. This stage rules, and there's no sway line. This stage is the best stage. Chinatown, 1998. Chinatown 1998, you're the best. That must be why they put you in KOF 2000 in the NES collection. Oh, now he's on his head. This is awesome. It's like a little, like, Miss Pac-Man style cinematic story just evolving in the background. Now he's back on the ground. Probably looping now. Man, how many times do I have to cape whip her? Finally. Whoa, confetti. Laurence, you are fabulous.
Round one. Fight.
You got the pompadour going. Ah. Okay, the cape spin is getting a little old, but I can't seem to avoid doing it. I mean, it just comes right out. There's the cape poke. All moves lead to the cape spin, I swear. Whoa, jeez. Is that a charge move? Fear the cape. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm really having trouble doing damage with Laurence. There's a D attack. There's another one. just chipping away very slowly. A little better this time. Ah. Well, his jumping power attack is weird. It doesn't really go down, so I'm not really landing it. Confetti and a sword. I guess that's the sword he uses to kill the bull with. You just insert that into the back of the bull's neck or whatever. Gruesome. Ew. Yeah, he doesn't have a good jump attack, so that's a big blow to my usual offense, because I rely on jump attacks way too much. He does have a good jump attack, I'm missing it. So he's probably not going to work out too great for me. Of course, I'm just making excuses now. But whatever, I can make excuses. It's my video. Oh. Oh, it's a home crowd. Where are all the Laurence fans? Oh, this is the J-Lo fight. Joe versus Laurence. Yeah, Laurence does not feel smooth. Like, Krauser, I was surprised how good the boss character Krauser felt. Laurence, not quite there. It's just that the cape thing is so over the top. But I'm just not feeling like I can rattle off attacks as fluidly as I can with Krauser or some of the other characters. And of course, that's just because I'm not finding attacks with my particular mashes of particular buttons, but whatever. Whatever, man. Games should cater to me. I shouldn't have to learn moves. I shouldn't have to study. Mash buttons. Uh-oh. Well, spinning your cape in the foreground is not going to matter when they just dodge to the background. I wonder what Lawrence's last name is. Laurence B. Laurence be good. Keeps catching, he keeps dodging back with, and then I'm stuck in my cape spin and no chance to get a D button in. There's a D button. Oh, I thought I had it. I thought I could do it that time. Shoot. Oh, okay. Oh no, that is crummy. How did he dodge? Yeah, he's just gonna dodge the background. It's just a free get-in against me. Oh. Oh man. How does he keep getting out of that? I guess he does like body feints or something. Ooh, finally a throw. So that was just with the power attack button and back. Oh wow, I just got blown up. That was power attack button and forward. Got a little too close there, Strowd. Oh no. Whoa, this is a pretty early match for facing Billy. I guess he's not really a mid-boss or a sub-boss. I just have a complex about him. Oh, jeez, come on. I don't know how to get in against that stupid stab. Well, not that way. I could probably get in with the D button if I knew how to do that. Okay, so you have to hit a different button to attack from the plane. I don't know what button you hit to attack from the plane. Whatever. That's why I don't play that way. Oh, man. Billy's just too fast. The staff is everywhere. I don't want to fight Billy. See, this is the really the downer for me about this game is it has friggin' Billy in it. I hate Billy. I hate Billy a lot, and he isn't as annoying in the KOF games for the most part.
Game over.
But I really do have a problem with him in these two games in particular. The Real Bout Fatal Fury Special and Real Bout Fatal Fury 2. Well, and probably I did with him in the earlier Fatal Fury games. I just don't remember, and I don't go back and play those because I have trouble with a lot of stuff in those games. Okay, let's look at Franco, who just looks so different in this, and I'm really not happy. Okay, so I have to pick Hon-Fu or Xiangfei, or whoever the heck the third character who shares their stage might be, if there is one, but I don't know, so I'll just for now, so I can get the no sway line stage. No sway line. Yes, oh, it even says one line stage there. Silly me, not noticing that. Chungking is a band I like. Although it's actually Chun without a first G. Oh wow. Big haymakers. Hon-Fu's getting in some. So what I really didn't like in Real Bout Fatal Fury, they made Hon-Fu this real joke character who would just, he was constantly swinging his, he had two nunchucks all of a sudden that he would sometimes bring out a second nunchuck, and he would then just start spinning them super wildly and would actually just hit himself in the crotch with his own nunchucks in the middle of a fight. Although in this he was doing something earlier where he was like flashing red and then holding his rear end. So I guess he's still got a little something goofy going on. And maybe that's a little, I don't know.
Get in the ring.
But he's not as bad as they made him in Real Bout Fatal Fury, so that's something. Ah, the stupid wizard kids. That was pretty cool. So Franco's still got some little fisticuff combos here. Oh, whoa. And now he's got these big like, power fist combos. He didn't used to do that kind of stuff. Throwing energy tendrils at people. Woof.
Round 2.
Franco's still pretty fun. More special move heavy. Kind of. That's kind of how he was in Real Bout Fatal Fury as well. Shit. That's basically how everybody is compared to Fatal Fury 3, where he's a lot more about normal moves. And just really bashing normal move buttons in a really fast time when you got into a good position. And actually, Fatal Fury Special. Fatal Fury. Fatal Fury Special before that was really about doing that. That game is crazy. You just get in close to somebody, just bash on the punch button or something, and you get in like 5 or 6 hits and just take out most of their health. It's crazy. But that game is also very slow otherwise. And the controls feel pretty stiff. Well, gosh. What the heck? I don't know about that stuff. Oh. I wanted to do some power punches, but the power button was doing all kicks. So it seems like his punches have been kind of relegated to a single button, which seems weird. They did keep saying in earlier games that he was a kickboxer, which always struck me as odd, since it really emphasized his punch combos more in earlier games. Maybe here they're still trying to make him out to be a kickboxer, but he still doesn't feel like one. Oh, wow. See, like there, his big, I don't know, it still feels like his big swings are on punches, not kicks. But now he's got 2 of his 3 main attack buttons are dedicated to kicks rather than punches. Strange. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I mean, in a way it's nice because you just, if you want to do punches, it's just one button. I don't know. Shoot. Okay, I'm letting him get me with this sway line stuff. There, got him. So if you can't do the sway line counter with the D button, you're really missing out on easy damage, and you're letting the opponent just wade in on you through the alternate dimension, as it were. What the heck did he just break? In previous games, he would break a little bottle that he would pull out, but that looked like something a lot bigger. Oof. Yeah. That felt good. Some of this stuff, it's really just... Oh, shoot.
Round 2.
Just a little sloppy at the end there. Oof. I lost my mojo. Where did my mojo go, Terry? Oh, I thought I was blocking. Ooh. Change of pace there with the 2 kicks. Oh, well, it was nice knowing me. Yeah, like... God. Shit. Not only, I mean, I saw it coming and I still didn't block it. Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, so that was a power move that was punches. if I really wanted to beat him, I guess I would eventually just wait until he shifts to the background and then hit the... Whoa, I veined out there. Wait until he shifts to the background and then just hit the D button, because that would get him every time, whereas actually trying to fight him, I'm terrible at. And his stick is just everywhere. Oh, I hate Billy. Well, so I think I won't play this game anymore because I keep running into Billy and Billy keeps beating me and I hate Billy and I can't fight him. I hate fighting.
Game over.
Billy. Yeah, I think I will just stick to Fatal Fury 3. Billy's not in Fatal Fury 3. Billy, also not in King of Fighters 2000, which is my favorite KOF game. I don't actually mind Billy that much in 98, though. I did want to see if Hon-Fu, how cartoonish or not they made him feel.
Get in the ring. Fight.
Actually, in fighting Billy, yeah, it really probably is about that second plane, because he can't dominate the real estate between planes with his staff. So if you want to get around his sort of just screen area domination that he has with his long-range staff, yeah, he did hit himself in the junk with his own nunchuck. Can he do it again? Yeah, hilarious. Yeah, so to get around Billy, it probably really is about the... There's that thing, too. So still kind of jokey. So yeah, Billy, it's got to be about the... using the plane well, and I've not been doing that. I mean, beating Billy, I mean. Yo. Wow. They've made Hon-Fu's normal attacks really short range. Look at how short his kicks look. It just looks like his legs is shrinking. And then you do a power attack and he hits himself in the balls with his own nunchucks. Which is what they introduced in Real Bout Fatal Fury with the old sprite. But he doesn't do it in Fatal Fury 3 as far as I saw.
Get in the ring.
And that's why Fatal Fury 3 is better. And no Bill, okay, I'm just obsessed. Obsessed with Billy. It's funny because Joe, who becomes this big joke character in KOF, is not a joke character at this point here. Hon-Fu is a joke character. So is that like a... If they hit him in the butt when he's sticking it out like that, he turns red and pats it? I don't know, man. Get this stuff. So it seems to be quarter circle back and the power button. Oh, I don't know. See, they're avoiding hitting me right then, so it must be some kind of counter. That's ridiculous. Oh yeah, so he turns red, but that didn't hurt Joe, so what's the point? Ah, stupid. Maybe there's something cool that comes out of it, but it seems bad. They gotta disrespect Hon-Fu, man. In Fatal Fury 3, he's a cop. doing this investigation. Cool dude. I do like that wind pose. Kind of changes his face around, but it's funny. But it's funny without making him a joke, you know? Still got some dignity. And Rick, you're kind of a cool character, I guess. And I'm sorry I won't be able to play this game much, but it's got Billy in it, and I hate Billy. And I just don't have the patience to fight Billy and learn how to fight him with the sway line or whatever. I just could be playing some other game that doesn't have Billy in it. It's like if I was writing fighting game reviews and I was breaking up the review into different, you know, rating elements, breaking it down. Like one of the ratings would be for how many is Billy in this game. So you would not do well in that category if Billy was in your game. Oh, wow! So that was his super duper. That was kind of nuts. Nice job, dude. Am I done? Is that it? Okay. I guess the only other question I had here was what Terry's like. Is there anybody else? Maybe Bob. That's just Terry. This is the other bad thing now, because now that I know how to pick one stage that doesn't have the sway line, I'm just going to do that every time. So every story or every arcade mode play is going to start out with me fighting either Hon-Fu or Xiangfei, because their stage doesn't have stupid sway lines in it. I just wish they'd included an option to turn the whole thing off, you know? Why didn't they ever have an option in the home versions of Fatal Fury games to turn off the... I guess because did somebody there really think that the sway line thing was so cool? Didn't anybody ever tell them that, guys, no, people don't... somebody must have liked it, and some players must have liked it. They must have been getting some feedback, wasn't they? That this was cool, or were they just so into it? Some dude at SNK was just so into it, he was like, yeah, man, this is the best. And everybody's just like, oh, well, whatever. So Terry feels pretty good. I was just doing stuff there, and it was working. And that was the first match and all on easy difficulty, so... But all his moves are pretty smooth, they flow together pretty well. How well that animates. Whoa, yeah, really smooth Terry. This is a smooth Terry. It's just too bad he's got Billy in his game. And the Wizard Kids. Never a fan of the Wizard Kids. Who came along in Real Bout Fatal Fury. Like, I mean, come on, designers, look at yourself. You've got this great looking stage, you've got Terry, he's a cool character, but then he's fighting a frickin' wizard kid. Not only is there one wizard kid, there's two. They're practically identical, they're twins or something. I mean, who thinks that's cool? Plus, Then you've got this stupid double... Look, you just had a wizard kid dodge into the background. There's two problems there. There's a wizard kid and he's dodging into the background. None of that is cool. Who thinks that was cool? Definitely somebody at SNK, maybe multiple somebodies who I am not in tune with. At least in that regard. Maybe there's other stuff they did that I love. Probably is. But I don't know how we could disagree so much about these other things. Just different strokes for different folks, I guess. Whoa! Yeah, this is a good Terry, man. Not me, I'm not good, but this Terry is cool. Some smooth Terry. Just spreading the Bogard all over the place. Bam.
Get in the ring. Round.
And eventually I'll have to fight Billy. Whoa, what is happening? That was just messy all over the place, but he didn't get me. Uh-oh. Ooh. Yeah, I shouldn't try to... That's interesting because the sway line is a huge... The dodge to the sway line background... Well, whatever. Is a huge counter to his burn knuckle in this. See, Franco is dodging perfectly to the background every time I initiate a burn knuckle. Oh, he didn't that time. He jumped. Okay, I should stop burn knuckling. I was doing way better before I started doing that. Oh, shoot. Franco is really blending into the background here. That is messing with my eyes. Franco, your orange overalls are a cheap tactic on this stage. Oh, it didn't change colors. Ooh. That's such a cool animation. Oh, he knocked me into the background.
Okay. Get in the ring.
I will. Oh no. Irritation, Terry, I gotta take you down. Uh-oh. Steal my ponytail shtick. And that's really the main thing, of course, is there's two guys with a big ponytail. And a light-colored ponytail at that. Oh, come on. Ooh, jeez. Yeah, you got nothing, imitator. I mean, Rick, he's a cool character. A little too similar. And look. Like, why did they give him a ponytail? Come on. That was just needless. Give him something else. Like a faux hawk or something. I don't know if they had faux hawks in '98. Something. Okay, this is not going well now. Oh no. Oh, come on.
Final round.
Oof, jeez. A huge chunk of health. Calm down. Ah, my button mashing is not cutting it right now. Oh. Oh, shoot. Just freak out over there, that's fine.
I'm up.
So,
Terry. Get in the ring.
yeah, it was cheap, but I was kind of losing it. Oof. Oh no! What? Yeah, I reached critical bedtime overstaying my. Oh, welcome. Oh, I think he was gonna pull his sword out and just stab me. Stab me in the back of the neck like a bull. Just execute me. Oh, dang it.
Round 2. Fight.
This music's kind of jazzy. Whoa. Thought I had something there. Dang it. Just like being whipped with a towel in the locker room or something. Whoa. Oh, I tried to do... I don't care. Give up. You're too good, Laurence. You can't handle the towel. Yay. That was weird. Too hard to get away from that thing. It's just kind of like Billy's stick. It's just everywhere. I suppose that's part of the design. You're supposed to do a big dodge into the background and scythe your way in past the towel or the staff.
Game over.
Well, yeah, I think I'm going to stick to the games that don't have Billy or Laurence, and the one that springs to mind right now is Fatal Fury 3. How about that? So that was Real Bout Fatal Fury 2. Wait a second, that was a different version. Oh. I don't know if I've ever seen that one before. It always shows the Rick Strowd one first. I must have seen the Xiangfei one before, but I forgot. Wow, okay. Well, so yeah, this has been Real Bout Fatal Fury 2. In the Garou Densetsu, aka Fatal Fury, Battle Archives 2, or Volume 2, as it's called in the States, on PS2. And that's the last game in these Battle Archive collections. Garou, Mark of the Wolves, which is the next and so far final game in the Fatal Fury series, came out as its own separate release on PS2, and I never got that one. I think because I had it on Dreamcast, and I thought, well, I have it on Dreamcast, so I don't need to get it on PS2. But I did, even back then, I was aware of people complaining. Probably I read GameFAQs reviews or something, and people complained about disk access, noisy disk access, and I think like the music resets or something in the Dreamcast version of Garou, or I don't know, stuff that I didn't really care about, but
Fight!
so I just had that one, but now there is the and I was thinking, should I get, so I don't have the Dreamcast one. I sold all my Dreamcast stuff a couple years ago, and I bought some Dreamcast stuff back, but not Garou, and I don't plan to, because it does have good noisy disk access and a couple things like that I don't really need to revisit, but, and there are other ways to get Garou these days. I was thinking, should I get the PS2 one? But the PS2 one is actually the first in these Neo Geo online collections that SNK put out on PS2. It's number 1. It's Neo Geo Online Collection number 1. And it's not actually, it's only a 1-game disc. And like some of the early collections, like the KOF ones, in that series was in 480i interlaced resolution, whereas like these Fatal Fury Battle Archives are running in 240p, which is nice and progressive, and it's the native resolution of the Neo Geo pretty much, and so it looks great. But those were in 480i, so they're flickery and a little blurry. So I don't really need that in my Garou. So I'm just going to play the PS4 one that Code Mystics did. They did a pretty good job with their emulated version of Garou on PS4. So that's the one I'll be playing for the next episode to get in a little time with the currently last game in this Fatal Fury series, which I do kind of like. Like back in the Dreamcast days, I was so into Garou, just the style of it. I was just blown away by the style of Garou, and it's got 2 intros, and they're both way different and super stylish, and the way they use color and all this stuff, and sort of the mood of the game and all this stuff. I'm less into that stuff now, less into the more fluid animation style, because, well, sometimes I get the feeling that it sort of limits your flexibility in a fight. I don't know, that's way too loud. That's probably dumb, but and then some of that I think was the arcade stick I had for the Dreamcast that I was playing Garou with was not, I mean, there were no good Dreamcast sticks in the States that I saw in stores anyway, and I didn't know about ordering stuff. So I had a crummy arcade stick, and that didn't help my impression of the controls for Garou on back then. But I did go, it definitely, PS4 version, it's fine. That's not a problem, so I shouldn't rant about the animation choices in that regard. Anyway, that's the game I'll be refamiliarizing myself with, and I can figure that stuff out in the next episode. So thanks for watching this, and I hope you got some kind of accurate impression of Real Bout Fatal Fury 2. Good game, super playable. As long as you don't have a complex about Billy Kane, you're probably fine. You'll probably just love this game. I can't fight. I can't handle Billy. There's too much Billy in this game, and for some reason, I think the AI is more aggressive in its use of the sway line system, the dodging. It really starts doing that a lot in the later stages. Or maybe it's just I'm thinking I should be doing that more, and I just can't. I don't know. Anyway, I think that becomes much more of a part of how you would succeed in this game. And I kind of hate the sway line system, so I can't bring myself to do that, and I just bitch about it. So that's no good. But if you don't mind that stuff, you don't mind Billy, you'll probably like this game. I wish I could play with Rick Strowd in some other game because he seems super cool. Terry's super smooth in this game. Xiangfei is fun, however you pronounce her name. I'm mangling it. Lots of cool stuff. Some kind of not so great characters, but a lot of good ones. Alright, well, I'm rambling. So that's it for now. Good night. Back with Garou, Mark of the Wolves. And I'll try not to... That game, I think, takes itself a little too seriously, so try to just have fun with that game. Oh, well, the other thing I did love about it, though, it has... They got back into character stories. So every character in that game has a really... really in-depth, I guess isn't really the right word, because there really isn't that much story, even in a game where every character does have their own ending cinematic and some cinematic bits before that. But for a fighting game, it does feel like a lot of story. So it's pretty... They did pay attention to story again after having not done story for these last... I don't think they had much story in the previous Fatal Fury game, Real Bout Fatal Fury Special, I don't think. So they didn't really have, as far as I can recall, much story going on in these Fatal Fury games after Fatal Fury 3. So all the Real Bout games, not so much. Maybe that's what Real Bout means, is like, it's Real Bout, it ain't story bout, it's Real Bout. I don't know. Not much story in the Real Bout stuff. So they do go back to story. They have some pretty cool cinematics. Maybe they take themselves a little too seriously, get a little too heavy with the atmosphere, but there's some cool stuff there. Some of the characters also a little too, I don't know, a little too tragic. I don't know. And they do have some joke characters too, which I also don't really like. Just But lots of stuff I think I do like in Garou, and I will rediscover that, I hope, next time. And I'm still rambling, and I need to learn just to stop recording. So that's what I'm going to go do now, as I'm seeing spots, and I think the beatings Billy gave me are just getting to me, and I don't know what I'm saying anymore, and yeah, it's pretty bad. Wow, I should go take care of that. I think, like, got my shoulder all tightened up and probably pinching a nerve or something. It's just all gotta go loosen up. Work the crick out of my neck. This is what happens, kids. Don't I don't know, don't do what I've done. Make better life choices. Don't try to be a YouTuber. Yeah, it's not worth it. Not worth it. I lie. It's totally worth it. It's great. I'm having a blast. And I actually really am. Like, I have a lot more fun being able to play a game knowing that I'm sort of sharing it with people through the medium of YouTube, as it were. If I wasn't able to do that, I would just feel like I was just sort of sad and playing games alone in my little apartment with no friends, which, you know, is the situation otherwise. But I have you guys watching my videos, so that makes me feel good. And I get to share all this stuff that I love about these games, which I wouldn't get to do otherwise. I would just be hoarding it to myself. But no, I get to show it to you, and I guess I also get to share some of my pet peeves, but I shouldn't do that. I should concentrate more on the stuff I love. So, Rick Strowd, he's cool. You should play this game just to see Rick Strowd if you haven't played him before, because he's fun to play. Yeah. And Xiangfei, she's cool too. Alright, well, that's it for... I love this logo. This was the first thing I was thinking of when I booted the game up, because Like, if you just looked at this logo, what the heck would you think was going on? Like, what is with the naming convention that they ended up with? You'd be like, RB2, okay. The Newcomers, okay. Real Bout Fatal Fury 2, okay, wait. Okay, RB maybe stands for Real Bout. But then the 2 is over there, and there's this Fatal Fury stuck in there. So what the heck? Where did that come? Where's the Fatal Fury part? And why is that seemingly de-emphasized? I mean, you just sort of sneak in this tiny small print Fatal Fury thing after RB2. Like, RB2 is supposed to blow me away. It's so bizarre. But then, I mean, the only thing that really saves it is the voiceover. The guy comes in and actually does pronounce the whole thing in the correct order. And he says, Real Bout Fatal Fury 2, the Newcomers. And then you're like, oh, okay, that's what it is. And then they confuse everything by going on to do the next game would be Garou Mark of the Wolves, which, you know, especially if you didn't know that the game in Japan was called Fatal Fury, or was called Garou Densetsu instead of Fatal Fury, and that Garou means wolf. Isn't that the wolf? But then that gets confusing, because why is it Wolf Mark of the... I forget. Anyway, maybe I'll remember some of that stuff when I see it, when I boot up that game next time. So definitely leaving now. Definitely leaving. Thanks for watching all this nonsense and blather. I love you.